Well, I am here today to endorse Nikki Haley for president of Israel.
Yes, welcome back. Candace Owens is coming under high criticism on social media. A question surfaced to Ben Shapiro, pertaining to her. If you understand what is going on with the current thing, Ben Shapiro made it clear that this is disgraceful.
Yes, the question was about Candace Owens. I think her behavior during this has been disgraceful. Without a doubt, I think it's absolutely I can't know that. Yeah, I mean, she still works for my company. I mean, I think she's been absolutely disgraceful. I think that her faux sophistication on these particular issues has been ridiculous. It's not faux sophistication, it's ridiculous. Everybody can see the moves that she's making and the things that she's saying, and I find them disreputable.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of people in disagreement pertaining to the current thing. People have different versions of what is going on, and it has triggered a lot of persons to actually stay back. They don't even want to comment pertaining to the current thing.
There are a lot of
Yeah.
people in America that are sitting here going, okay, well, can you answer why Jews are so special? Because as white people in this country on university campuses, we are being taught that we are not allowed to have a voice. We have had to endure exactly what you're talking about, BLM. We've endured much worse than you have because it's in the actual textbooks. We are being told that we are systematically racist, that we are born wrong because of the color of our skin. And if we say anything, we'll lose everything. This is the typical experience on white campuses. So people, this is not whataboutism. This is like actually what we have been fighting for years. So it sort of arrived as, I think, for a lot of Americans, a surprise when they're saying, well, now that, which is something that's overseas, we need to, hand these university professors, we need to do something about this issue. Why weren't we trying to correct course on this issue? Why weren't donors pulling their funding out of these universities? Why weren't these same things being said for these last, I would say, 8 years of rampant BLM, white man can't do anything right, actively being taught in the classrooms? So there are people that are asking that question. Now, what I have said is that explicit calls for genocide, which was stunning to me to see that in Congress, are completely wrong. It is frankly crazy. I have not weighed in on the IDF's response in the same way that I have consistently said through every war, Ukraine and Russia, I don't want to be involved. I have said I don't want to be involved in Israel. Seems to offend people, right? But I haven't made a single tweet or a single comment on IDF's response in Palestine. I haven't said a single thing about that. I have said it is always sad when a child dies. And the lack of humanity that I have seen from both sides has been very troubling for me. But
Well,
to say that I have
genuinely
to weigh in and suddenly be things that, because you decide that you get to use my platform because it's
Yes, I understand we are living in a society. If we don't agree on certain situation, we immediately call for either the other person should be cancelled or censorship, like what I've seen recently. And this topic has actually triggered people to be divided. You can be working in the same organization with someone with different views, and it's a big problem. This person want to air this maybe because you are scared to keep your job. You are not able to speak up. That is the case we've seen here. The Daily Wire is actually an organization with some of these people in it. People are now saying, is it the end of Candace Owens? Will she be fired? Questions like this I've seen on social media, but it is high time people realize sometimes it is good to have people with different opinions in the same organizations. Yes, it is necessary. It should be nice seeing Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens sitting down to really talk about what is going on. Sometimes when I see things like this, it is amazing. Yes. Though a lot of people cannot see eye to eye when it comes to a situation like what is going on with the current thing. Candace Owens made it clear she doesn't want to even comment or say anything pertaining to what is happening in Ukraine, Russia, and this, but it keeps surfacing on social media, like we see how the division is coming in. It is high time people see through the mirror to see what is going on here. Ben Shapiro was very outspoken to say this is disgraceful, pertaining to her comment. because the way they perceive Candace Owens, in this case, I think this is the very first time I've seen Ben Shapiro, disagreeing with someone. Though at a certain point, I saw him disagree with Matt Watch on certain situations, but in this case, it's a serious matter because even Jimmy Bao is someone I've seen. He is standing with Ben Shapiro.
To me, feels very extreme.
This is not about a geopolitical dispute, logical mission to rid the world of Israel, and I think people misunderstand.
Yeah, well, Jews live very comfortably in the United States of America, so they're not going to be. I mean, obviously Jews
lived comfortably in Germany before Germany too. They did. Doctors, lawyers,
I really struggle when people start using, things that have happened in the past that are abhorrent, like slavery, to say that, like, if this doesn't happen, then slavery is going to be back, or if this doesn't happen, then it's going to be the Holocaust too. I think there's a lot more meaningful chatter and discussion that we can have. We don't have to resort to that kind of,
History repeats itself if you forget it. You have to be conscious, and Jews especially. Unfortunately, I'm a grandchild of all four of my grandparents are Holocaust survivors.
So what do you make of the Holocaust? That's a great question.
I think that there's a very strange, bizarre. It's the same people that you would condemn as the people of the white people who bowed down to BLM protesters, who hate themselves and feel a certain sense of guilt. They feel a certain sense of, I think a lot of the ideologies on the woke left, to the extent that things are good and prosperous and virtuous, they condemn as bad. And the things that are broken morally and depraved, they see as good. This is the lens by which the far left views things. And I think these Jews that happen to be politically far left and maybe are not that connected to their Judaism, or are culturally Jewish, but don't have a strong Jewish upbringing. Not to say.
Yes, the kind of speculations I've seen, like this is the end of Candace Owens. I don't believe that this can happen. Yes, because this current thing might soon end and business continue as usual. But it is high time, if there is something going on, they are adult. They should be able to sit down, have honest conversations, partake into it, and really discuss things. Come to a common ground. Yes, I've seen people, this one condemns this, another person condemns that. Then at the end of the day, not actually finding a possible solutions to what is happening. We have been talking about Ukraine for a very long time, where people will say, oh, why they cannot look for a peaceful way to resolve this, because we are tired to talk about this. In this case, if you say that, it's a problem. Yes, people might not align with you if you talk about peace right now. So it is actually difficult to even comment or even share your thought on this issue. The kind of impression or the kind of thought I had initially, it is totally different from what I see now.